So I'm going to tell you right now the number one skill that you need to learn as a speaker, as a business owner, as a business person, in order for you to survive in 2020 and beyond. And that is going to be storytelling. We are right now in an era where the most thing we can do is storytell. Tell the story about what we are doing. For us, this opportunity of having done the toilet paper diaries and right now fast forward has given us the opportunity to tell the story of what has happened throughout the pandemic. How has everybody been feeling? We have been using music, we have been using clips, we have been using education, we have had a laugh. Every time that we were there on the show, we were really having a great time. And now the important question is, well, how is this going to be really translated into business? The number one skill that we need to learn in order for us to survive from now on is going to be storytelling.
Story Brand by Donald Miller. In building a story brand, Donald Miller guides you through a framework to help you clarify your message so customers will listen. These days, it's desperately hard to get anybody's attention. The average consumer encounters 3,000 commercial messages a day, and most of them get ignored. In building a story brand, Donald Miller introduces us to a powerful framework that has been getting and keeping people's attention for thousands of years. If you want to get attention for your prospects, services, or for yourself, the author teaches you how by using a powerful story formula. Here's an example. Kyle Schultz was a photographer who created a course to teach parents how to take better photos of their kids. He launched with $28,000 in sales. His message was the power of photography in the hands of parents. After working through the story brand framework, his messaging evolved to, "We help parents take better pics," and the copy on his website went from 1,000 words down to less than 200 words. Instead of telling a confusing story, Kyle invited customers into his story. The result? His second launch to the same email list produced $103,000 in sales. Don't think for a second this book is about learning to tell your story. In fact, the author argues that telling your story is a great way to go bankrupt. Instead, try inviting customers into a story. Companies need to understand that the brand is not the hero. The customer is the hero. That's the only way to engage them. And the brand's role is to guide the hero successfully through their challenges. You want your brand to be the Yoda to Luke Skywalker, your customer. So how do you accomplish this? How do you invite a customer into a story? Every memorable story is built on a simple framework. A hero has a problem, meets a guide who gives them a plan and calls them to action. Failure would be devastating, but the guide navigates the hero to success. Take any blockbuster movie and you'll see this framework applies. Most companies waste enormous amounts of money trying to tell their story. The truth is, nobody cares. But every human being wants to be invited into a story. They want you to offer them a vision of a better life, help them overcome challenges, act as their guide, and take them to a climactic scene in which their story ends happily. Start by going to your homepage. Are you making the story about you or the customer? As you're reading the book, take notes along the way. Brainstorm and craft a clearer message for your brand, and then update all your communications. Your marketing should invite your customer into a story. If it doesn't, you're certainly losing thousands of dollars and you might even be losing millions.
Wow, what an amazing video. That's the best explanation I've heard about storytelling and the hero's journey. Brilliant. Really enjoyed watching that because it's really difficult to get people to explain it or understand it properly, but that was spot on. I was going to say that the challenge is that people think that the journey is all about themselves. They say, I've done this, I've done that, I can do this, I can do that. Join with me and I'll show you how I do all this. Nobody cares. The only thing we care about is what's in it for them. So when we talk about the hero's journey, which you've explained there brilliantly, it's not that you are the hero in your story. If you want people to relate to you, you have to be the mentor. They're the hero. That's the key thing to doing it. And you've also got to add some other stuff, like we mentioned before, about monetization and the hedgehog and all that. That's what makes you an effective coach. And that's a really important skill to have when people are in lockdown, because everything across the planet has gone back to square one. You pressed a reset on what the career path is and what the earnings are. And one thing you've got is the ability to reach people digitally, which is what we're doing right now. So understanding that is key.
Correct. And as you possibly remember, everybody went into, well, you know, I'm going to be selling through webinars and I'm going to be selling through doing Zoom calls. While we thought, well, you know what, we have to think about the empathy. We have to get involved with people. We know that there's an opportunity by simply connecting with people. And, you know, we don't have to be trying to monetize immediately, because of course we need people to hear from us. So we started doing this show for 50 days, and we were sharing, as I was mentioning, we were sharing every single thing that was happening, positive news, music, every single thing that was happening, and that get us to connect. Now here's the magic. You know how many pieces of content, and possibly you do not know the answer of for this, Dave. You know how many pieces of content the Toilet Paper Diaries has created for us in YouTube only? 500 different videos that actually came from that. Now, tell me, do you think that this is a powerful asset to have right now in the virtual world? Absolutely.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you really enjoyed it, then make sure you watch one of these two videos afterwards. And Ernesto, why are you staring up on top of my head?
Dave, your hair is actually thinning out.
Well, if it is, it's about the only thing getting thin on this show.
Here on this side, we have some more amazing videos for you to watch.